We're about a week away from free agency, so now I have the new perfect offseason plan for our Denver Broncos, how we surround Bo Nix with not only a fantastic offense, but an even more dominant defense so that we can go win the AFC West here in 2025, baby. So y'all let me know if you like this plan, where I'm right, where I'm wrong in the comments. Be sure to smash that like and subscribe as well. And, let's go ahead and get started. So, I've already gone through this plan, just wanting to walk you guys through it. I'll show you guys like a projected 53-man roster here coming up soon. But to just take you guys through this Spark Notes version, didn't do too much regarding manipulating the cap, kept Cortland Sutton's cap number the same because decided to just let him play out this last year of his contract, being 30 years old. Zach Allen ended up extending, freeing up about $6 million or so of cap space, giving him a 3-year extension. And so that leaves us with about releasing Alex Singleton, releasing PJ Locke, about a little over $50 million to mess with, which is fantastic. And so really wanted to spend big on defense because I feel like defense is where the strength of the free agency class is. And so I wanted to make sure that we brought in veterans who are in the middle of their prime right now, that also have championship experience, that come from winning cultures. Nick Bolton, inside linebacker. He's somebody that captain of the Chiefs, obviously multiple Super Bowl championships, a big time winner. I think that he would be tremendous for this defense, and signing him to like a 4-year, $40+ million deal, I think is something that we can do. Alongside linebacker, bringing in Talanoa Hufanga from the San Francisco 49ers. Tremendous, strong safety, somebody who's going to provide great support and also has coverage skills as well. Now, he didn't play the majority of this year due to like a pretty serious wrist injury, but he should be all good to go. Yeah, no ACL or anything like that he's coming off of, which is great. I also thought about possibly looking at Julian Blackmon as from the Indianapolis Colts, but really, even though Hufanga projects to be a little bit more of an expensive type of guy, again, I really love the fact that he comes from the San Francisco 49ers, comes from a good culture. He will add to this young core that we're developing here and really help instill a championship level accountability and culture here alongside Nick Bolton coming in here. Now, this is also pretty fun. Again, Najee Harris might be the most expensive running back on the roster or in free agency this year. But again, I really wanted to make a play at him because I feel like he would be tremendous, not only in pass protection, which is something that George Payton and Sean Payton have talked about regarding Javonte Williams, but he still provides a tremendous amount of playmaking ability, running the ball, and, has some receiving chops as well. Of course, Rico Dowdle could be a fine replacement as well to Javonte Williams in free agency. But to me, I like Najee Harris's style of football. He's Javonte Williams with vision, with explosion, with still having the yak yards after contact that we saw his rookie year, right? I would love Najee Harris here. Maybe we signed him on a 2-3 year deal that's a little bit more front loaded. But it just gives you tremendous amount of flexibility once the draft hits on what we want to do at the running back position. Signing Zach Wilson, this is a little bit higher than expected, but I do think with teams like the Titans out there not sold on possibly drafting a quarterback this year, that he could get one of those Sam Darnold deals up to $10 million. But hey, if we provide him with some nice guarantees to be the backup here for one more year, around $8 million, maybe he can return. I think that would be great. Now, this Darius Slayton contract, this is actually Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp has not been released yet. I'm expecting him to be. And I'm thinking that the Broncos could sign Cooper Kupp to like a 2-year, $25 million deal. We can keep that cap hit pretty low this year, but 2 years, that would be totally fine. Again, and maybe we're able to get Darius Slayton on that sort of deal as well. But Cooper Kupp, tremendous leader. Again, championship experience. That's kind of a big theme here, coming from winning cultures. I think is great. Even, Najee Harris. The Steelers haven't had a ton of playoff success, but again, they are a winning program, working there with Mike Tomlin. So I would love to have Cooper Kupp and Courtland Sutton here, along with our developing young crop of receivers that we brought in over the last year or so. Marvin Mims, Troy Franklin, all those guys. Now, having some more room in free agency to spend, I wanted to make sure that we actually attack defensive tackle. Our friends over at Let's Talk Broncos brought this up yesterday about how Zach Allen played like the first or second most snaps at the position in the NFL last year. That can't be the same, or that can't be the same thing this year, especially if we're going to extend him and want to get the most out of that extension. Levi Onwuzurike is somebody that I think played tremendously for the Detroit Lions this year. Look at this as kind of like a Malcolm Roach type of signing, a depth signing, somebody who should be able to rotate in there with Zach Allen, John Franklin Myers, those types of guys. Signing Juwan Johnson, I think, would be tremendous. Tyler Conklin could also be an option here, but wanted to also address the second linebacker position. EJ Speed, Indianapolis Colts. He's got tremendous speed. With a name like Speed, he better be fast. He is. Plenty skills in run coverage or run defense, but also has coverage chops as well. Him and Nick Bolton, I think, with Drew Sanders and Lavelle Bailey would round out kind of that group of linebackers, I think would be great. And then also on a one-year deal, bringing in somebody like Javon Kinlaw at nose tackle. Again, he's like a 330-pound guy. We let DJ Jones walk. We're also bringing in Onwuzurike, Javon Kinlaw. We got Malcolm Roach, JFM, all those guys. But Kinlaw, somebody that can generate a lot of interior pressure. Now, some people have brought up, what's his name? Milton from the Eagles. Milton Jackson. What's his name? I forget. But this would be a much cheaper option to bring in interior pressure and not have to commit long-term. Javon Kinlaw on a one-year deal. We bring back Riley Dixon. Harrison Bryant. This is actually just a Taysom Hill placeholder right now. I think he would be great in the tight end room in addition to Juwan Johnson. And then I think, that just about covers it. Bringing back our early restricted free agents. And this is where things get fun, is in the draft, being able to go with somebody like Colston Loveland, somebody like Quinshon Judkins there in the second round. Now, Travion Henderson was available. I've had him in a lot of my perfect off seasons, and I still think that he'll go ahead of Quinshon Judkins, but I thought Judkins performed well in the combine. He's got a workhorse type of build to him, but he's also got receiving chops, quick burst off the line. His 10-yard split was great. And then doing some trading, manipulating, trying to get into kind of the middle rounds here, trading back in the third, then kind of trading up from our 6th-round picks into the 5th. But going with interior defensive line with 2 picks, Deone Walker is somebody that I think could play that JFM role here in a year or so, do really well. Jamaree Caldwell, somebody who can be that 345-pound nose tackle. I think that this would build a tremendous depth within the trenches on the defensive side. Going with Brashard Smith as a guy that would compete against Jaleel McLaughlin, so to speak, for that receiving back role. Billy Bowman Jr., a safety that if we decide to eventually move off of Brandon Jones here in a year or two, Billy Bowman, I think, could do a really good job if he develops correctly. And then going with a guard, Connor Colby. Ben Powers is going to be up here soon. We need some guards that are going to be developed here to start in the next few years or so. So when we take a look at the depth chart here, my predicted 53-man roster here, I mean, there's some guys that are going to get cut, either before or after the draft. That being PJ Locke, Alex Singleton, Damari Mathis, Onwuzurike, McLaughlin, Jordan Jackson. Now, maybe some of these guys stay on the practice squad, but I really love how this whole kind of depth chart starts to look, where you got 3 new running backs in the room: Najee Harris, Quinshon Judkins, Brashard Smith. You got Cooper Kupp and Sutton there at the top, but then you still have your big crop of young receivers. And hey, don't forget about A.T. Perry. I'm leaving him on here just to see what happens. Colston Loveland, Taysom Hill, Juwan Johnson, Adam Troutman very well could be a cap casualty as well, keeping our offensive line the same, but then adding Connor Colby. And this is where things get really, really exciting. Look at this defensive line here. Josh Allen, or not Josh Allen. Why am I blanking on his name already? Oh my gosh, Zach Allen. Holy moly, I need some coffee. JFM, Malcolm Roach, Javon Kinlaw, Levi Onwuzurike, Deone Walker, Jamaree Caldwell. Our edge group stays the same. Cooper, Benito, Ellis, Tillman. Linebacker, going with Nick Bolton, EJ Speed, Drew Sanders, Lavelle Bailey. At safety, Brandon Jones, Talanoa Hufanga, JL Skinner, Billy Bowman Jr., DTY. Now maybe you can cut DTY, bring in a fifth corner or so. Then we go Pat Surtain, Riley Moss, Jaquan McMillan, Chris Abrams, Drain, and then our three special teams guys for that kind of way too early 53. So you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. I've done a handful of these. I'm now up to option 6 on this little chart that I'm going on. But would you guys be pleased with this offseason? What do you guys think about kind of copying the Philadelphia Eagles to an extent, really doubling down on defensive line, spending some premier picks and some money on that position in free agency and in the draft? Y'all let me know. I think I'm going to do a video about Tez Johnson soon, so y'all be sure to hit that bell for notifications. I'll be back soon. As always, guys, go Broncos.